What's up, fellas? What's going on? I'm just gonna be going over how to program pretty much for eccentric overload. Now, I've only been doing this for 4 months now, about 4 months. So, again, I'm still experiencing, I'm still learning on my own. This is just gonna be from my best understanding right now. Later on, I'll have a better understanding of eccentric overload and how to program better. But I'm just gonna be explaining to the best of my abilities as of right now, 4 months in, okay? So it's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna be what I have right now. So there's three main ways you could do eccentric overload, guys. Okay, you have accentuated, which is pretty much where you assist through the concentric. Okay, so you could do this yourself. If you guys seen how I done my dips, I do accentuated dips by stepping on the side and lifting myself up through the concentric and lowering myself through the eccentric. You could also do accentuated with pull-ups. You jump up to the top and you control the eccentric. That's considered accentuated. So it's pretty much you getting assistance through the concentric. You could do that with the partner. Like if you're doing a bench press, he could lift up through the concentric for you, and then you just lower the eccentric. You could do it with curls. You know, if you guys see me do cable curls where I squat down and I pick up the full stack, and I use my biceps to control the eccentric with the cable curl. So there's also machines out there that you guys could do. There's a chest press machine where it has a little foot pad where you could press onto it, and it helps you through the concentric. So pretty much with this, it's best used if you have a load that's 100 to 140% of your max. So it's going to be very heavy since you're skipping the concentric. It's going to be full range of motion. And typically, since you're going to be going way over your 100% max, you're only going to be able to control the eccentric for about 1 to 3 seconds. 3 to 6 seconds if you can. I'd say with that, it's going to be 100% of your max. I've never done 140% of my max and was able to control it for 3 to 6 seconds. Yeah, it's a long time and it's so heavy. You're not gonna be able to control it. But don't think you're not gonna get damaged. You will if you're doing 1 to 3 seconds. Then we have super maximal eccentric overload. This is basically length and partials. You guys have seen when I've done this, especially with the incline dumbbell press. When I cheat through the concentric and I use gravity to add to the resistance of the weight, and so I can have constant stretch in the eccentric. Okay. Again, we're only doing the bottom third of the range of motion for constant stretching. And what I found is that I can only do 100 to 110% of my max. You know, if you try to go, higher than that, it's going to be really hard to even initiate concentrically. So I'd say stick around to 100 to 110% of your max. Okay. Then we have submaximal eccentric overload. So you could do this accentuated. So it could be accentuated submaximal, or you could use this and it could be submaximal length and partials. So I'd say this is best used if you're doing, a standard concentric eccentric reps, your standard conventional reps, and you fail on the concentric, and then so you would cheat out extra reps to milk out more in the eccentric. Okay, so if you're doing, let's say if you're doing like a dumbbell press, okay, a dumbbell bench press. You're doing 100 pounds, you do it for 10 reps, and you fail on that 10th rep. What you do now, you're still going to have enough strength to do some length and partials in the bottom with that weight. So that would be considered submaximal since you were able to do 10 reps with it. Okay. And it's ideal for beginners because when you're a beginner, you don't want to start right away doing accentuated over 100% of your max or even super max length and partials with over 100% of your max, because your connective tissue, your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles are just not used to that amount of weight. So this is the three ways that you could do eccentric overload. Now, for beginners, I suggest you to master full range of motion first to get familiar with these movements, strengthen those stabilizing muscles. I would start with submaximal length and partials. Like I said, do it at the end of your standard rep range. So after you achieve failure, concentric failure with your sub max loads, then you do length and partials at the end to eke out more eccentric. So since you're a beginner, that's going to be enough to cause damage in your muscle fibers, okay? Yeah, and you want to get a full rest in between sessions. So, you say you hit chest on Monday, get a full rest 7 to 10 days because you're going to get DOMs as a beginner. It's going to be easy for you to get DOMs. So you wait the full 7 to 10 days, make sure everything's repaired and remodeled, stay in the pocket. So that means don't ego lift. Don't lift something that's too heavy for you because you could hurt yourself. Again, you don't have the connective tissue strength, the muscle strength to handle over your 100% max. So what you want to do, you want to build with the weights. Okay, you want to build with the weights. You want to be patient. Of course, you're just building with the weights. Be patient. It's going to happen pretty slow. And then it'll pick up later on when you get more advanced. And then when you start off, you want to start with 1 to 2 sets of some maximal length and partials at the end of your regular sets on the first week. And then, yeah, that should be enough to cause damage on that first session, first few sessions. Now, when it comes to picking exercises, you want to think about these exercises if you could do eccentric overload safely with them. Something that's very stable, that where stability is not a limiting factor. So machines are great to start off just to get familiar with eccentric overload. If you're not confident enough to do it with free weights, I'd say do it with machines if you're a beginner. And if you have a partner, choose exercises that are easy to spot. So don't do a squat. I'd say don't do a squat like accentuated squats do, because it's going to be a fucking leg workout for you and your partner. Your partner that's spotting you, he's also going to get a leg workout in. So, and it's going to be really heavy for him. So I'd say like a squat. Don't do like accentuated stuff with that. If you are, I'd say do a Smith machine squat, and then you can have your partner help you up on the concentric. But if it's just like a free weight squat, I wouldn't do that. Overhead press, I wouldn't do that either, since your partner would have to reach really high. If you guys are different heights, it's gonna be kind of weird. So like a bench press, dumbbell bench press, some curls, cable curls, triceps, stuff like that where it's easy to spot. Then you want to choose an exercise that you can bail safely if you're training solo. So don't do a fucking bench press. Don't be an idiot. Yeah, so don't do a bench press. Don't be an idiot. Don't do like a squat with no safety racks. You can actually do a squat. I've done squats with the safety racks. You just do length and partials at the bottom, and that's a great exercise as well. And then choose exercises that are in their nature is eccentric bias. So like a Nordic curl, pull over, a pull up is an eccentric bias lift, dips as well. And all in all, you guys have to be creative when you guys are doing eccentric overload. I'm just giving you the blueprint. You guys take this and use your creativity to think of exercises or ways to achieve eccentric overload with any exercises you guys choose, okay? Now for the best exercises for your torso, so it's going to be chest and back. You guys see me do dips, those weighted dips, man. Those are king because they hit your chest, your triceps, and your shoulders. Now they won't hit your upper pecs as efficiently. That's why you add in the incline dumbbell press. So it hits your clavicular fibers, hits the upper pecs, so you have a well-rounded chest. So best way to do this would be week 1 you do dips, week 2 you do incline dumbbell bench press, and then you can add in a third exercise to add another novel stimulus. So you guys can rotate with 3 exercises in your program with any muscle group. Incline or flat dumbbell fly press. A fly press is it's basically a dumbbell press, a bench press, but you turn your wrist neutral so that the weights can go deeper at your sides, and it just gets a deeper stretch on your pecs. A flat or incline bench press, that would be with a partner. Don't do it by yourself. And a machine chest press is always good. I didn't put any flies on here just because to do eccentric overload with it, I've done it and it's not very efficient. So now with your back, you want to do pull-ups, weighted pull-ups. You guys seen me get some wraps, get your straps and jump up to the top and just control the eccentric. You guys are going to get damage from it, no doubt. Barbell rows. Now when you're doing these, again, remember you want to do super max eccentric overload, those lengthened partials. So you don't want to do accentuated. You won't be able to. You want to do lengthened partials, super max loads, where you're just using your back to retract and protract. So you're going to have a huge stretch on your back when you do this. You're going to be able to go really heavy. Instead of pulling all the way back, getting a full concentric is not worth it because it's just concentric. It doesn't cause muscle damage. You want to do lengthened partials with your back. Always. You're going to always get damaged because you're able to go heavy. It goes with barbell rows, landmine rows, T-bar rows. All of these rows are the same. Except pull-ups, you want to go all the way to the top and go all the way down, okay? Now for your arms, for shoulders, is not that much. You got your overhead barbell and dumbbell presses. I've done these recently where I would do a weight with my overhead press that's 100% of my max. So right now it's 195, maybe 200 soon. And so you just kind of do a push press up and you control the eccentric and you keep doing that. But you don't go all the way up. You go halfway up through the concentric and you control the eccentric. You do that for multiple reps, okay? You know, you got your cross-body lateral raises. You have seen me do this. You know, you pretty much do a full stack if you're pretty strong. And you do, you know, small range of motion reps. It's going to tear your shoulders apart. You do the same thing with your rear delt fly. Now, you can do this with one arm or 2 arms. I think it's best with one arm because you could do it with one arm by yourself, and then you could use your other arm to do little accentuated lengthened partials. Get more damage out of it. Now your triceps, you guys see me do dumbbell overhead extensions where you sit down, you have a dumbbell on each arm, in each hand, and you do super max lengthened partials. It looks like I'm just doing little bounces with my tricep, but when you guys try this, you guys will get damaged just by doing that. Same thing with cable overhead extensions. Dumbbell pullovers, you want to go really heavy. Now grow with the weights. Don't go heavy right away. Do something that you could do that you're comfortable with. That could challenge you a little bit. But again, you do lengthened partials with it, and it's going to hit your long head of the triceps. People say it's a lat exercise. I feel it more in my long head of the triceps. Maybe it could be both, okay? And then you got single arm push downs. I've done these. I kind of like them, but not very efficient. But you guys could do this if you guys want. And biceps is going to be single arm cable curl, where you use one arm to curl it up and use the other arm to skip the concentric. So accentuated eccentric overload, and you control the eccentric. Or you can do a regular cable curl where you squat down, pick up the weight, and then control the eccentric with your biceps, or you do lengthened partials at the bottom. Okay, with biceps it's pretty simple. And you have machine curls. If you have a partner, they can help you with this as well. But yeah, so that's gonna be for arms. For legs, not much. For quads, it's going to be high bar squats, mainly lengthened partials, super max loads, or you could do you can do I wouldn't say this accentuated, but pretty much accentuated where you it's a weight, of course, over 100% max, and you lower it all the way to the bottom, and then you take the weights off, you put the barbell back on the rack, and you do another eccentric rep with it, but it's gonna be really heavy weight. You guys could do that. I'm gonna try that next leg day to see how much damage I get. Front squats, same thing, lengthen partials or what I just explained previously. Hack squats. Now I have this new hack squat technique that I will show you guys next leg day. It's a accentuated super max lengthen partial, so it's a hybrid, and it fries your quads. So I'm gonna show you guys that next leg day, and then you have sissy squats. This is an eccentric biased exercise. So for hamstrings, you have Romanian deadlifts. You can use barbells or the dumbbells. With these, you could do full reps with it because it's a eccentric bias lift anyways. You're gonna get damage from it if you do enough reps with it and enough sets. But to do it more efficiently, you want to do lengthened partial supermax loads. And then Nordic curls. These are gonna be accentuated in nature. So you're going down with your body, and then you push yourself up through the concentric. It's an amazing hamstring exercise. And then for calves, I found it's best just to do the standing machine calf raises with really heavy weight and just do lengthen partials. Now, when it comes to sets and reps, you always want to stick between 8 to 12 reps to ensure damage with that amount of weight. So I found that when you do a weight that's over your 100% max, 100 to 40% max, and you only do maybe 3 to 5 reps, that is not enough reps to cause damage. Believe it or not, once the repeated bout effect kicked in and your myofibrils are resilient enough, anything below 8 to 12 reps is not enough. So you want to stick between 8 to 12 reps to ensure damage. You want to start with 1 to 2 sets in the first week, the first time you do it. And then week by week, you add a set or 2. And if, maybe you need to jump up 3 sets because you're going to become resilient. And after a few weeks, you go based off feel when it comes to the amount of sets you do. So you want to keep going until you feel like you have gotten damaged or your muscles are very weakened. You can test this, say if you were doing dips. After all your sets, you can test this by doing a body weight dip. If you can't even do it, then you are good. You have caused damage. If you're doing accentuated pull-ups, try to do a regular pull-up. If you can't, then you're good. Okay? And so it's going to be 8 to 12 reps. If you can't complete the 8 to 12, I found that if you drop weight to stay in the 8 to 12 range, that's great. Or you can do, or you pick a weight and you go into 12 reps and then you stay with that weight and you drop reps incrementally, set by set, so that say like by set 4 you're down to 8 reps, something like that. You know what I mean? Or you can start a little lighter, maybe 100% of your max on the dip, and then after that set you could do 110% of your max, and after that set you could go up incrementally as well. Just get creative with it, whatever is best for you. Now, when it comes to frequency, rest times, and exercise order and structure, you want to train every muscle group once every 7 to 10 days. This is going to allow for a full repair and remodeling. You may feel recovered by the 5th day. I always feel recovered by the 5th day, but you want to wait the full 7 to 10 days to allow the full repair and remodeling to happen. Okay, once you achieve DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, It's important not to work that same muscle during that recovery period. You will kill those myofibrils. You will fuck up the repair and remodeling process. Okay? When it comes to rest times, I found that when you're doing big compound movements like the dips, the pull-ups, 3 to 5 minutes is ideal. Don't ever let it get to 5 minutes. I'd say 3 minutes is good. You're good with 3 minutes. And with isolations, I found that 1 to 2 minutes is pretty good too. You're still gonna get damaged, and it makes the workout go by really fast. Now, exercise order and structure. You want to do your compounds first because they hit the most muscles with the dips, chest, triceps, shoulders. Those triceps and shoulders are secondary movers. They're not the prime movers. They're part of the prime movers, but the main thing you're hitting with dips is your chest. Your triceps will get sore. They will get weakened, and then sometimes you don't even have to do an isolation for triceps, but you want to do the isolations after your compound movements. It's just common sense. Now, how to structure, you can do full body once a week where you do upper and lower, but that's going to take so much energy. It's going to take 3+ hours, maybe 4 hours, man. You're going to be in that gym all day, but you're going once a week. It might be worth it. You might want to bring some fucking pre-workout for the middle of the workout when you're running out of energy, but I would not recommend a full body once a week. It's just too much. What I do an upper lower split. Okay. Now the upper body, it's going to be a little longer because it's more muscles. Lower body, it's an hour workout, maybe 45 minutes. You only go twice a week. It's very efficient and it's very convenient because you're only going twice a week. Or you could do a push-pull legs where you go 3 times a week and you separate your push muscles with your pull muscles. I've done this. It's a little tricky because when you do back, you have to be careful with the exercises you choose when you do back because the long head of your triceps can get damaged from those back workouts, believe it or not. But if you're good at structuring it, then you could do a push-pull legs. I might do this in the future because my upper body day is becoming very long. Now, I'm going to go briefly through the nutrition and recovery protocol just because I want to do a separate video for nutrition and recovery to fully explain to you guys why it's important and why you want to stick with these foods or whatever. And that deserves a whole other video. It's going to be too long if I explain all the benefits in this video. So pretty much stick to animal protein. Make sure your eggs are pasture raised, not those cheap eggs, because those chickens are stressed out. They have a lot of cortisol, linoleic acid in those eggs. It's not good for you. Grass-fed steak. Most steak is grain-fed. Those cows are eating something that is not in their natural diet. So those cows have a lot of high cortisol. It's not good for you. You're eating a sick cow when you eating like a grain-fed cow or something. Make sure it's grass-fed. Wild-caught salmon. Farm-raised, you're not going to get as much benefits as if you get wild-caught. You want to stick with raw milk. You get some pasteurized regular milk. Has no benefits. They've killed all the nutrients in there. You want to stick with raw grass-fed milk and raw butter. Okay? When it comes to carbs, stick to potatoes and some fruit. For I'd say fruit would be kiwis, pineapples, oranges. Those are fine. I haven't ate a lot of fruit recently. Just been sticking to protein and some potatoes. You want to stay hydrated. You want to stay hydrated with coconut water. Don't just drink water alone because they don't have any minerals in there. And make sure it's not from a plastic bottle. You're going to have a lot of microplastics in your water. That water's all fucked up. It's basically tap water with heavy metals. So like I drink Mountain Valley water. It's a glass contained water, and it has some minerals in there, but I mainly drink coconut water as well for the minerals so I can stay hydrated. You want to get lots of sleep, 8 hours plus of sleep. In the worst case scenario, 7 hours. That's worst case. This is for your testosterone. All this is for your testosterone to help with the repair and remodeling process. You want to get lots of sunlight as well. You need vitamin D. It's a powerful hormone. You want to nail down your micronutrients. Okay, you want to make sure if you're short on some, then you supplement. It's hard to get a lot of magnesium, for example, or some days it's not super sunny outside, it's raining, so you want to supplement with vitamin D and magnesium. And of course, your amino acids, your myofibrils are built, they're made from amino acids, okay? So you want to make sure you are getting these. They are a big help. So that's pretty much it, guys. I will make another full video when it comes to nutrition and recovery and go over all the benefits. But, I don't want this video to be too long. Tell me what you guys think. If I need to add something, ask me any questions. Suggest any other videos. I'll see you guys later. Peace.